Good evening, Your Honor. Crossing the line. That's really what this case is about, both literally and figuratively. The defendant walked up to the line and she had a choice. Was she going to follow the law? Was she going to heed the warning of Sergeant Dykes? Or was she going to cross the line? She thought about it and made her choice. Judge, she crossed the line. Again, both figuratively and literally. Now, she must be held accountable. When the defendant crossed that yellow tape on April 28, 2013, after the official protest ended, she made a conscious decision to take the law into her own hands. She didn't like what was happening on the other side of that gate, and she was going to prevent the people from going through that gate by lying down in front of that gate entrance. That was her clear intention, Judge. And it doesn't matter that this obstruction was for a short period of time, because the statute doesn't require us to prove the duration. Now, Ms. Mahoney, she appears to be a good woman. She believes in standing up for convictions, and it's a noble thought. And she does want to change the policy. Fine. But there are dozens of ways, some of which she's noted, that she can change the policy. She can vote. She can sign petitions. She can write a congressman. She can attend public meetings. She can help candidates run for office. She can even run for office herself. And yes, she can lawfully protest. But what she can't do is break the law without consequence. The defendant wants you to believe she's being prosecuted for her views. And nothing could be further from the truth. As you saw through the testimony of Chief Ramsey and the video we provided, the Guard Command went out of its way to offer space on its property for this protest. They did this despite the terrible accusations the protesters made about men and women who serve their country proudly. Those same men and women who risked their lives so that Ms. Mahoney has the freedom of protest. Your Honor, you saw the video. There was more than ample room available for the protest. They were not squeezed in. They were able to freely express their views. Nobody bothered them. They waved signs, gave speeches, they sang songs, they chanted slogans against the military, and they pointed at law enforcement and accused them of all kinds of terrible things. They had their say. If that wasn't enough, they had to cross that line. They had to break the law. You know, Your Honor, I said in my opening statement, having strong convictions is important. It's important to our democracy. But there has to be courage that comes along with those convictions. And if you're going to break the law for your own convictions and then not be prepared to suffer the consequences of your actions, where's that courage that goes along with those convictions? Finally, I scratch my head when I hear the defense imply that the defendant didn't know where the property line was. First, you can look at the permit. The town issued them a permit to march in a symbol. This was prepared by the organizers themselves. It designates the land in which they are going to use to protest, and it says which part of the road that they can protest on. Then, after that, look at where the defendant crossed the line. It's in the video. It's well over 50 feet from the road and adjacent to the monument sign. You can see that for yourself. The defendant thought the base would just put their identifying sign on someone else's property. The facts are the facts. It's not often that you get to see the crime in progress, but Judge, you do. Through People's Exhibit 1 and 2. On People's Exhibit 2, at 9 minutes and 39 seconds, you'll see all the protesters walk over the yellow line. At 10 minutes and 30 seconds, you'll see the defendant herself walk over the line and into the road. You'll see her laying down the road and what looks like chalk, drawing around her body. And at 12 minutes and 55 seconds, you'll see that Officer Maloff place her under arrest for her conduct. You'll get a better view of the defendant, People's Exhibit 1, at 1 hour, 12 minutes and 44 seconds. You'll see that the defendant lays down the road. You'll see her clothes, the black hood, the blue jeans, the white shoes. And again, at 1 hour and 13 minutes and 27 seconds, you'll hear that Sergeant Dykes gives those warnings and tells those people that they'll be arrested for disorderly conduct and obstruction of governmental administration. And lastly, in 1 hour, 15 minutes and 4 seconds, you'll see again Officer Maloff go up to the defendant and place her under arrest. Judge, if you have sympathy for this defendant, I'll understand. She seems like a nice woman. She says that following her convictions. And again, that is very noble. And she was, for all intents and purposes, polite to the police during that protest. And frankly, I don't take any great pride in prosecuting her for these charges. However, I do take my responsibility of holding people who break the law very seriously. And there is no doubt that this defendant broke the law. I believe the evidence is overwhelming, and the judge is right before you. Judge, the people believe that we have proven that this defendant is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, and we are asking you to convict her of trespass and disorderly conduct. Not because you may or may not want to, but, Your Honor, because it's the law. Thank you.
Thank you.